Hello everyone, welcome back to some more Bridge. Um, I just finished recording the Go Stack. The last video of it went up today for me, I think yesterday for you, we'll see. And I wanted to play some Bridge before I get back into more games of that sort, if I do. So it's some holiday bridge. Just that this is today's boring old free day long on BBO. But as you can see, today it's imps, not match points. I think they only do that once a week. So if you're into imps, this is the day for you. This is the day of the week also that I usually have bridge at the club in the evenings, but it is canceled for the next few weeks for the holidays, so I'll probably be playing some more online than usual. Anyway, let's get started. 8 boards of imps. And there's a new robot on BBO, by the way, so let's not get started, actually. The Gibbs have been improved, apparently, in some large way. I read the documentation, the update post. Seems nice. It confirmed some things I believed, but didn't have... I'm sure they have published this information before, but I didn't have access to a source for it. I didn't know where to find it. Right. For example, I've believed that the Gibbs are deterministic in that if exactly the same bids and plays are made, every Gib will always choose the same play. Now, if I were to play the 4 of diamonds versus the 5 of diamonds, that might make a Gib completely change his mind, even though that doesn't make any material difference. But if the plays are exactly the same, they'll behave exactly the same. So it's nice to have had that confirmed. And also, they do try to lead 4th best, and lead top of a sequence and stuff, which I was sort of believed, wasn't sure about. And I think the new version tries to do more signaling than the old one does, and tries to make more human leads and fewer passive leads and so on. So it'll be interesting to see how that behaves. I guess that version was out when I played the last bridge video, but I didn't know it. So anyway, what are we doing here? I don't think you can bid here. Well, it's all white. Ace Queen of Hearts is better than some heart holdings would be. I don't like overcalling with just 5 bad in a suit, but I mean, it's 13 points. It's short in righty's suit. I don't think we should just kind of roll over and let them have it. And if someone's going to bid, it clearly has to be me. All right. Got him to 3 level. I'll take it. I'd like to lead trump, but not holding the ace queen, of course. So we're going to get 2 heart tricks and a diamond. We can probably find the king of spades. This all assumes every card is in East's hand, which of course is not true, but many of them will be. We could lead a spade to make sure we set this up in time, if partner has the queen, but I mean, look at my hand. I have 13 points. They were thinking about game. Partner's not going to have much. So I'm unlikely to hit partner with something in spades, and I might... And even if I did, it would still only be 1 spade trick. If the queen forces the ace. No one's going to lead a spade for me, so I won't be able to finesse the jack even if it's on my right. So I think all that said, we just lead passively. Also, a rule of thumb, when opponents were sniffing around for a game but stopped, you probably should be passive. Well, is that true? 1 no, 2 no, 3 no is a classic passive auction, where they don't have a lot of extras, and they might not have enough to make their thing. Don't blow something up. Don't give them an extra trick. Whereas 1 no, 3 no, you need to be aggressive because they might have lots of extras and you need to set something up quick. I forget what makes sense for an invite that was declined. I think you still want to lead passively because they're at the limit of their strength, and you just don't want to give them anything extra. Well, this is bad news. Good news is partner's 9 forced the ace, so if I'm lucky, maybe partner has king jack there. Seems unlikely. King jack 10, I guess. But bad news is we're not getting the king of spades, presumably. Yeah, now there's some chance. Okay. Declare just won the ace while holding King Jack 10 as a little joke. Sure. So now... Actually... Doesn't this mean partner's roughing a club? I mean, I guess it's possible the declarer has the jack but not the 10 and won the king anyway. Sure. So, partner may or may not be roughing a club. But, like, there's no way the king of spades is cashing. Why would declarer cash the ace of spades before playing the heart if they had a spade loser? They wouldn't. Because they can pitch the spade on a club if we give them time. And they could have had time by just not playing the spade. So, declarer is out of spades. And has at least 2 clubs remaining, I think. The king and the jack. So declarer had 2, 5, 3, 3, maybe at most. We could maybe give partner a diamond ruff. But, I mean... That's not really any more... I think it's less likely than giving them a club ruff. Oh, I mean, it doesn't seem like we're beating this. But maybe partner can ruff the club and then play king of diamonds, diamond. That would be pretty cool. Okay, partner had the 10. Well, what can you do? Boo. So... If I'd found the lead of a low diamond earlier, or even ace of diamonds diamond... No, because declarer was over-ruffing. Yeah. So we got 2 hearts, we got 2 diamonds, that's all we could ever get. No real shot for any more tricks. I don't think we could have pushed them to the 4 level. Losing imps? Maybe if you don't bid 2 diamonds, West forces to game? Could be. And then they go down, of course. How is spades for us? We get 3 spade tricks and 2 hearts is 5. 2 diamonds is 7. Yeah. If they don't double it, it picks up an imp. If they do double it, you lose like 4 or 5? 4, I think. 160 is 4. So definitely we don't want to be bidding here any more than we did. Yeah, I don't know. I think everything I did was right. Sometimes the right action doesn't win you imps. That's life. All you can do is hope to have a positive expected value. Well, you can try to control your variance sometimes as well if that matters, but on the whole, I think you should aim for positive EV and just accept variance. Gib likes me to double here, I believe, showing 3 spades. I really do not... Like, okay, support doubles, a very popular agreement. I'm not a big fan, but they're fine. What I really don't understand is support doubles here, where like partner's already showing 5. You can have double B3 and raise B4, like confirming you have a 9-card fit. Is that really that important? I don't think it is. And I feel like you might often want to raise like with only 3 when you have shortness and extra strength, right? You want to jump to 3 spades maybe with only 3 of them. You can't do that here because you're supposed to double. Like, I don't know. This agreement is just stupid to me, but I'll play along. It's a very popular stupid agreement, so, like, presumably I'm wrong, but what can you do? Okay, so we're Losing 2 hearts. Well, okay, what am I winning? 4 minor suit tricks. Hopefully 4 spades, but could be only 3. So, and this is imps, by the way. So making your contract is really important. I often count, like, how many tricks do I need in match points, but that's less important in match points because you just have to take as many tricks as you can. Assuming the field is in the same contract as you. At imps, making your contract is very important. So I can count a reasonably easy 7 tricks as long as I can arrange to draw trumps somehow before they take away my dummy entries, but the 8th trick means I'll have to get spades right-ish, or maybe arrange to rough a club or run the diamonds. I don't know. I think my plan is just get the spades right. I'm going to run the queen through West, who, well, actually, who's more likely to have the king? West didn't open, he overcalled, so we can't expect that much strength, necessarily. Let's wait until we see how hearts are splitting before we make any decisions about that. Like where the heart honors are seems very important. Whoa! The king of clubs is very good news to me. Because suddenly all of my club losers have evaporated except for one. We've also located all the clubs in West's hand. Unless, like, this is stiff king, which seems unlikely. So West has ace of hearts, king, queen of clubs. What does East have? He can't have king, queen of hearts because he would have led the king. So West has one of those cards as well. Not the king, or he would have played it at trick 1. One of the things in the Gibb patch notes was that Gibb now tries harder to play the obvious normal card when a choice doesn't matter. Previously, if it had like ace-king, it would just kind of win whichever one it felt like at random. My understanding is now it tries to win the king with ace-king if it can in situations like that. So I think we can reasonably say that East has the king of hearts and West has the queen. So we're looking at West having something like blah, ace-queen fifth, blah, king-queen something, right? So that's like 13 points. Probably does not have the king of spades, in fact, then. Meanwhile, East has raised on just the king of hearts. Kind of has to have another king. Yeah. So that's how we're going to play this suit. I mean, good for you guys if you promoted the jack. Not much I can do about that. They did not. Now, as it turns out, I could have made more tricks by trying to cash 3 diamonds to pitch my heart loser when they switched to a club. But that's playing with fire. Extremely dangerous stuff. I don't think you should do that unless you're in like 3 or 4 spades. Honestly, even in 3 spades, you probably shouldn't, because what I did managed to make 3. Yeah, so I don't think, like, if you're in 4 spades, you're completely toast, right? You're losing 2 hearts, a spade, and a club, at least. And so when they decline to cash their second heart, you might have to pounce on the opportunity. But if you do that, you're going to have trouble picking up the clubs, even after the king of clubs shift. So, I don't know. Maybe there's just no situation where you should try to cash the diamonds. But at any rate, in this one, it was not correct to do so, even though it happens to work. This is an easy heart. Why did we win so many imps, by the way? Maybe some people raised to 2 spades and Gibb went overboard. Maybe they got the spades wrong. The funny thing is, the line I took in spades is like the total beginner's thoughtless approach to spades, which is wrong often, but on this layout is actually right. So, suppose we simplify the spade suit. Ace, empty fifth, opposite queen, empty third. There's really only one line. Well, okay. If you know a lot about the hand, there's two things you could do. Normally, you would play ace of spades, a spade to the queen, hope the king is onside and the suit is 3-2. Then you lose only one. If, for some reason, you believe West probably has the king, then ace and loaded queen is not very good. You should play ace and then duck, hoping the king is doubleton. So, there is another possibility when you have ace empty fifth, opposite queen empty third. But normally you play ace and load the queen. When you have the 10 and the 9, though, and the 8, that's a bad line. You should finesse through West twice, succeeding if West has either spade honor. That's much better than succeeding if East has specifically the king. Twice as good. And so that was what my original plan was. But then I thought more about the layout of all the cards, and West shifted to king of clubs, and it's like, oh, actually East has to have the king of spades. Go back to the beginner line. And so anyway, I'm surprised that, given that what I took is actually a relatively beginner-looking line, when there's a more advanced line that fails, I'm surprised we scored so well. Even though, I was able to, I think to do well in BBO daylongs, you should assume every player is playing bridge for the first time. It's obviously not true, and that's an I don't really mean that. But, if you're thinking, what are the other players going to do in this situation, you should ask, what would my grandma do? They will make the boring, beginner, basic play. They won't think about anything, they'll just play on autopilot. And here, the autopilot play works. Anyway. What's going on? I'm playing this hand now, I guess, huh? This is not good enough to jump to 3 clubs. A simple 2 clubs will suffice. If partner invites a game, I am happy to bid 3-no, I think. I have diamonds nicely stopped, and I want to be declaring. We could take a shot at 5 clubs, though. Because, if West has the ace of diamonds and leads a low diamond, or has ace jack 10 and leads the jack or something, then East gets in later, he can put a diamond through, and West will catch a bunch of diamonds. But I don't have any real reason to assume that's going to happen. North's spade and then club kind of suggests a 4-card spade suit, at most 2 hearts. That's 7 cards in the minors, probably 3 diamonds. So there's just not that much likelihood that the diamonds are going to crash down on me. We will probably get some useful roughs with clubs, but maybe not even that many, because I don't want to rough with my big clubs. And there's not much I can rough in partner's hand, except maybe a heart or 2. Yeah, I think I'll just bid 3-no. This also is what the field is going to do, so that's nice. Yeah, I'm not thrilled about these spades. I think the autopilot play would be the 7 here. Because assuming the spade honors are divided, that means the spade suit is now safe. The opponents can't attack it profitably ever. East will win an honor, and then the ace jack 9 is sitting in front of West. And you can even set up a spade trick eventually by leading the jack later. But you can't even get to that spade. And I don't care about the spades being dangerous. If I just play the ace here, I still have a spade stopper in the jack 9-7. What I don't want is for East to win and switch to a diamond. So I'm inclined to win the ace here, But you should think about the whole hand before you commit to a play like that. So what's going on here? We have 4 clubs and a spade is 5. A heart is 6. So we need 3 more. I mean, the obvious approach is like low heart to the queen. If East has the king and the suit is 3-2, you can easily... Well, is that the only line? Because if you jump on the ace here, the opponents have 2 spades and a diamond available and a heart as well. That's 4 tricks. So you need the hearts to be 3-3 onside for that line to work. Which is obviously not super likely. I have so few dummy entries. Like, it would be nice to be able to lead a diamond up to king-queen twice. But they'll probably have to do that for me eventually, maybe? Unless they just keep hammering spades. If I play a low spade, they only have access to 1 spade trick. So maybe that is the right idea. Because then I can afford to lose 2 hearts, right? Then I'd take 3 hearts, 4 clubs, a diamond, and a spade. Yeah? Problem is, how do I get back to the spade? So I'm going to have to get to dummy and clubs to take the heart finesse. But I can't afford to cash the spade at that time. And then I'm never going to get back. Doesn't look very good. I just want to daydream about being in 5 clubs. I don't want to play this hand. Not that 5 clubs is all that good either. But maybe you could just cross rough. Take a diamond, a heart, a spade, and 8 trumps. Doesn't seem likely. It's not possible. You'd need to have a red card finesse win at least. Anyway, but I'm in 3 now. I think ultimately I kind of do need the hearts to come in for 4 winners. But I don't think I have to play the ace. I don't think that's really doing anything for me because if I have 4 heart tricks, I just need a diamond. I don't even need the ace of spades. If I have only 3 heart tricks, I kind of do need the spade. Well, okay, so maybe what we do... First of all, I guess this 10 could win. That's one reason to play low. All right, nice to see the diamonds are on side. I think we duck a heart first. Because now I can afford to cash the ace of spades when I'm in dummy. Ooh. Wait a minute. That's exciting. I believe West has the Queen of Spades. And has no diamonds, and I can strip them of their clubs. So I could actually exit a spade to them, and that might produce some sort of value. So East has pitched 2 spades from, I believe, an original 3-card holding. West had 5. Really? West had 5? That can't be right. Because then... No, West pitched 1 spade already. I think West hadn't pitched any, which would mean they were left with only spades. And I didn't think that was true. But West pitched 1 on the diamond. So West has 2 spades. And 2 hearts, I think. No, 3 spades and 1 heart, excuse me. So, yeah, this doesn't quite work. I guess we play Ace of Spades, spade. West has to play a heart for us, but it's not important. It doesn't accomplish anything because East has the king. But it does. It means I'm gonna make the contract, right? West has to play a heart, and I get to finesse East. But if West's heart is the king, which I don't think it is, but if it were, West would be stuck here. As it is, they're stuck, but they were always stuck, so it just doesn't matter. Oh, it was the king! Ah! I'm glad I spent so long thinking about that hand. I do not think the field is going to make this one. Are they? They'll just take the heart finesse at some point, surely, right? Even with the spades divided and the ace of diamonds onside and hearts 3-3, yeah, the field goes down. So let's, man, I always forget the way I have this cropped. Wait a minute. I cropped it... I adjusted the crop because there's all this black space over on the right, and so I cropped some of it so that we don't have a bunch of black bars while playing. But then when I do this, you actually can't see East's hand. BBO doesn't... Okay, well... Let me see what happens if I turn on split screen mode or whatever the BBO setting is. So what we get is this layout where... Oh, I didn't... Okay, hang on. I haven't set the crop right for this new layout yet. I did, but I missed a spot. The left side is cropped, so you can't see the results. Let's see. How about this? This looks about right. A little more junk on top. Can we trim that off? Sure. So with this, the history is always visible, but it's so small I have a little trouble reading it. It's probably fine. Maybe I should get used to this layout, because I know one problem I have when playing live is that I'm always distracted looking at the history when it's my turn to play, and this way both things are on the screen at the same time. So we'll try this for now. So I wanted to look at the situation when I was making my final play here. I guess on the last club is maybe where West has a little trouble. He pitched a heart. which... Does that matter? I don't think so. It seems wrong, but I don't... Yeah, I guess it is wrong, because if he pitches a heart, I can just take all the rest of the tricks. Ace of hearts, queen of hearts, hearts. But it would be crazy for me to take that line. So I guess... But if he pitched a spade, isn't it like totally safe? Oh, he doesn't know where the last spade is. I see. He thinks if he pitches a spade, I might finesse him and take all the spades. And then all the hearts. Or the ace anyway, which would be the last trick. So he pitched a heart, hoping his partner had the queen or something like that. I see. Sure. But now, if I play ace of spades, once he shows out, the contract is guaranteed. And I predicted he would show out based on the early play. Right? A spade exit goes to East, who I know has 2 spades and 1 heart. If he plays a heart, then I can win the ace and the queen, the 2 tricks I need. But if he plays a spade... then I get dummy's jack of spades and a heart. So that was what the throw in at the end was about, and why I got so excited when West discarded on the 3rd diamond. If West had 3 diamonds, that play would still be right, but I don't know that I would have found it. Well, it would still work. I think it would be a good play, but I don't know if it would be the only good play. Whereas here, I think it was the only good play, and so I found it. All right. This is 14 points. 4 diamonds. I think we bid 2 diamonds here, is what Gib wants us to do. This claims stoppers in both suits, both majors. All right, I raise you to 3. So we have a spade. 3 clubs is 6. Nope, not 6. It's 4. 2 more hearts is 6. Ace of diamonds is 7, so we need a bit more than that. Who has the ace of spades? It's hard to tell, right? I think it's probably East, which means I can't afford to duck here. Because, like, why is West playing the queen, right? You wouldn't do this from, like, ace-queen anything, unless you had... No. There's no holding with ace-queen that would do this. Even if you had, like, ace-queen 6th, you can't afford to play the queen here, because then if you try to continue the suit, my 9 and king take you out. Well, I guess if you're willing to give me 1 trick anyway, which you have to be, yeah, I guess ace-queen 6th could do this. Although I think you would rather... Ace-queen 10 6th, of course. Because they're... If you have 6th, you have all of them, including the 10. I think with that holding, you would prefer to play the ace, just in case declares king is singleton. And with any other holding, you might as well duck and let partner retain the lead. There's no point on blocking the queen. So... I think this indicates not the ace, and therefore also shortness. It could be singleton queen. I guess that could be a reason to duck. But that's not super likely, right? Doubleton queen is much more likely. Just because singletons are rarer than doubletons in general. And so then if I ducked here, they would take 5 spades. It could be queen 3rd, but I don't really see why you would play the queen in that case. So probably queen X. Which means I can't even take the safety line in diamonds. If West were the danger hand and East were the safe hand, you should reject the diamond finesse, because if low to the jack wins, it means East had the king all along, and so you didn't even really need to finesse. You could afford to lose a trick to East. but you can't lose a trick to West, so you play low to the ace just in case it's a singleton king. But here, I'm not in that situation, I don't think. Now, one kind of cute thing we could try would be like win this and exit a spade. There could be some kind of red suit strip squeeze after that. Like we have 3 clubs and a spade is 4, 5, 6, 7. We could take a diamond finesse for number 8. And then either bring in the diamond suit, or I guess it wouldn't be a strip squeeze, it would just be a squeeze. Squeeze them out of their red suit things. But is there risk there? What if the spades are 4-3 and you just have to like play on diamonds? They get 3 spades and a diamond. Am I risking anything by immediately exiting a spade? What if they win it and attack hearts? Well, at that point, I think I have to take the diamond finesse, but that's fine. Yeah, I don't think there's much to lose by exiting a spade here, unless West's queen is singleton, which is quite unlikely. And it helps. Well, does it really help with anything? The red suit squeeze needs the diamond finesse to be working. And if the diamond finesse is working, you could just take it now. Well, yeah, but then you don't... I don't know. I think I'm going to exit a spade. What's the worst that could happen? Yeah, it was queen X. They're going to get 4 spades. So I have to find 2 pitches. Which I guess is diamond, 10 of hearts. And keep that heart over there. West pitching a diamond is interesting. Well, there's 0 chance West is pitching a diamond from King X, so we may as well finesse here. Alright. Nothing I could have done, I think. Yeah, especially with the heart honors divided. If they were both in one hand and that player was West, you could maybe squeeze him out of his spade exit by running the clubs. No. That's the kind of thing where you need to have exactly 2 losers, and I had like 5. Wonder why we won imps on this. I feel like I was in the normal spot, and like how can you take fewer tricks than I did? They got a diamond and 4 spades. Maybe people play the diamond 3 diamonds because they don't read the Gibb system notes at all, and Gibb passed. They played 5 diamonds? That could do it. There you lose a diamond and 3 spades. Down 2. Sure, that would be about 1.5 imps, I guess. If that happened some of the time. Alright, what is this? 15? No, 13. Not even a very good 13, but worth a bid. You could open a spade in 4th to preempt the hearts. I don't think the spades are good enough to justify that. And it certainly would be an anti-field action. Yuck. Whoa. Well, I don't think I should rough this. Because I have like one trick in the side suits, the ace of clubs. I need to produce all the rest with trumps, and that's going to be very difficult. So I need this king of diamonds to be a winner. And I think I'm pitching a heart because... Well, that's what's not so clear. Maybe you pitch a club? The 13th club could be a winner if the clubs are 3-3. The 13th heart is almost certainly a winner because the hearts are probably 4-2 or worse, but I'm just not going to be able... I'm not going to have enough time to go after it, right? Like, I can't get to dummy a bunch of times to rough out the hearts. So I don't think the last heart will ever actually be a winner, whereas the last club could be. If I can, like, rough a diamond, club to the queen, ace of clubs club at some point, right? So the hearts are just no good to me. The 10 of spades? It's an interesting play. Okay, I guess I'm a sucker. I'll play the jack. So we could now finesse against East's 9 in the future, and I think that's a card he's sort of likely to hold. Very strange to switch the 10 if you don't have the 9, right? Could be singleton, but if that's the case, I'll find out when I lead a spade. Okay. We're not looking too bad. Not looking good, I don't think, but not bad. Maybe we actually are looking good. Did I have... I had 4 diamonds, not 5, right? Yeah, I was balanced. 4, 2, 4, 3. So King of Diamonds, Diamond Ruff could very well live. My issue is... if the clubs are 3-3, I should cash the ace of spades. And then get 2 clubs and a diamond. And a spade. For 9 tricks. But if the clubs are not 3-3, I should try to get all 4 of my diamonds. The 2 that remain, I guess. But in that case, I'll be stuck in dummy. Right? And I'll have to play the ace of clubs anyway. And then... the club will get roughed. I suppose there's always the possibility that whoever has short clubs also had short spades, which would have to be West, because we know East has the last spade. We could also imagine King of Diamonds, Diamond Ruff, Heart, and the player who wins the heart doesn't have a club to give their partner a ruff with. No, that doesn't make any sense. The player who wins the heart is the one who's out of clubs and can't give themselves a ruff. What about Ace of Spades heart? Does that do anything? It shouldn't, but they might make a mistake. They might play a diamond, letting me finesse. They might play another heart, letting me set up dummy's heart. They should know that that would be wrong. There's no way they're playing a heart. They might play a diamond, hoping that I have no clubs in my hand. A human would never hope that in this situation, I think. But a robot might make that mistake. You could try a diamond ruff heart. But they'll give the club ruff if you try that. I'm going to try Ace of Spades heart. Oh. Never mind. Really? I guess the clubs were coming in. All right. I accept. No. West hoped I had no clubs. All right. I'm excited to see what West's hand was. Yeah, the club pitch really only makes sense if you think Declarer has no clubs. So I guess I was right. This is a mistake that a human would never make. Because if Declarer has no clubs, they're just roughing a diamond to dummy to cash the ace of clubs. It's crazy to play the ace of spades here if you don't have a club. But Gibb doesn't understand that. Apparently not even the new Gibb, who's supposed to be better at taking inferences from cards played. There's just no reason to play a club here. But Gibb doesn't know that. And from Gibb's point of view, yeah, if Declarer has no clubs, you should pitch a club. So there's at least some chance that that play is correct. Well, very pleased with how that worked out. Nothing else was going to work. If I'd tried King of Diamonds, Diamond Ruff, yeah, it would have worked. But then I'd be stuck in dummy. Oh, it might have worked. East might have played the king, probably would, in fact, have played the king of hearts instead of a little one. But if he'd played a little one, his partner could have won and given him a club ruff. So you have to play, like, King of Diamonds, Diamond Ruff, Heart to have a chance. And it probably does work out okay if you do that. But if you try to cast the club at any point, you're toast. All right, well, so far, a good session for me. 16 points, easy no trump. I do have hearts. Okay. Well, we hope to have 3 heart tricks. 2 clubs is 5, a diamond is 6. 4 spades would be nice. Yeah, I don't think there's any real excuse to play the ace here. Like, if they ruff, they ruff. Oh, well. But I'm going to need entries to set the suit up. So I think we just let them have this. Interesting. That was the 5 and then the 2, or something like it. Which shouldn't be which can't be fourth best. So it should be doubleton, or I don't know what Gib leads from 3 small. But, I mean, the spades are good. Dummy's all good. The only thing left I can lose is trumps. So we just have to not lose 2 trump. Okay. Well, it's an interesting trump suit, I think. I mean, ace-king is the normal play, but could you do something different? Like, obviously the only thing you can think about is singletons. I guess you should ask yourself, are there any singletons you could survive against? Let's suppose, and I think because dummy has the 9 and 8 and 7, we can think of the 2 hand, east-west hands as being basically equivalent. So let's suppose east has a singleton honor. To pick that up, you would need to play ace, small, small, honor. And now west's holding his queen, jack, or honor, honor is small. You then play low, and if west doesn't split, you have to play the 7. Or the 6, the 9, or the 8, whatever. You have to also play low. Now, that's dangerous. I mean, if you only consider hearts, that's a strict improvement on just playing ace-king. But we have to consider the spade suit as well, don't we? Like, what if you lose that finesse and east gives west a spade ruff? I won't have anything left. I won't be able to over ruff, so west will get... East will get a heart, and then west will get a ruff. But I think if you play heart to the king, and then run the 9 if west drops an honor, I think that is actually free. Because if west tries to give their partner a spade ruff, you just over ruff them. It's fine. Yeah, so that's how you play this suit. Low to the king. When an honor is played, you run the 9. Okay, I just play the jack, whatever. You guys can have a heart. Ooh, there's a hand. 5 losers, I guess, technically. But that's sort of overvaluing these doubleton honors. I don't think you can justify anything but 1 spade here. You could maybe like make a claim for 4 spades, but it's just bad. The hand is too good. How on earth does Gibb play 4 clubs after Michaels? I can ask, and in a minute I will, but I'd like to think about what it should be. Like, forcing with clubs? Or a splinter? Or a fit jump? These all seem possible. I mean, I almost wonder if it should be forcing with clubs, because after 2 spades, you don't really have a way to show good hands with the minors, right? I think you would play 3 of a minor as non-forcing here. Which means 4 of a minor should be strong and forcing. But I think Gibb probably plays it as a splinter. No, strong and forcing with clubs. Okay, good for Gibb, and I guess for me, reasoning it out. even in my established partnerships, I don't really know what 4 clubs here is. I think it should be strong with clubs, and hopefully partner would be on the same page. Well, my spades are pretty good, and I have extras. I guess I'll just bid 4 spades. We could be missing 6 here, but it seems unlikely with my Doubleton Honors sitting under West in every suit. Whew. Those are good clubs, partner. Interesting. Well, there are some entry issues. Well, on paper, we have 11 tricks. You can win 6 spades for sure. You can ruff a heart. That's 7. You have 3 diamonds and a club. That's 11. But what if you lose a spade, a heart, a ruff, and like a club? If things go very badly, you could imagine that all happening, I think. Like, you win the king of diamonds, right? And then you say, all right, well, I'll ruff a heart now while I can. But now you can't get out a dummy. So you play ace of diamonds, planning to play the queen and pitch your heart. But West ruffs. And cashes a heart. Now you've lost a heart and a spade. You're still planning to lose the king of spades. And to get rid of the queen of... get rid of your club loser, you have to let them ruff another diamond. So that could happen to you if you get too greedy. Is there a safe line? I'm tempted... Well, no, I'm not. I was thinking I could just play spades from the top because my king of hearts is protected, but it's only protected if West is on lead because I think the ace is in the West hand. If East gets on lead, as he likely would with the spade play, he can put a heart through. Then I'm losing a spade, 2 hearts. And I don't have the timing to pitch the club on the diamond. So what about queen of diamonds, spade finesse? That's sort of interesting. Because then if it loses, they can't blow up my heart position. And if it wins, I can play ace of spades, and then unblock diamonds, crossing clubs, cash the last diamond, pitching a heart, lose a spade, a club, and a heart. I think I like that idea. It seems reasonably safe. Oh, wait, does it? It occurs to me to ask at this time a question I should have considered quite easy to answer at the beginning. What is West's minor? I thought, oh, West's probably leading a singleton to get a ruff. But if we examine the dummy, we'll notice that it has 8 clubs in it. And I have 2, so probably West doesn't have 5. It seems very unlikely that we have 15 clubs today. So actually West's minor is diamonds. Which means we are at risk of East ruffing the last diamond if I take that line I discussed, right? queen of diamonds, spade, spade, diamond. Ah, but it would be ruffing with the king of spades, which should be fine. Okay, sure. I guess I'll commit to that. Right, so this is the problem, though. East could have 4 of these. I just assumed blithely that East would only have 3. I didn't have a good reason for that. Ah! I don't think I'm going to make this anymore. Well, what if I play a spade now? East wins, puts a heart through. West has to be pretty on the ball to find the club shift, right? If after catching the hearts, West plays a diamond, I can win it, draw the last trump, crossing clubs. Yeah, I guess. That seems like the line. We can't play the king here. We got to play low. Well, can I? I guess I'd be thrilled if East were on lead, so let's play the king first. Not that I think it's likely to change who's on lead. Yeah, didn't find the club shift. Yeah, king of clubs was onside. Okay. I think if West does find the club shift, you have to take the club finesse, even though it seems unlikely to work. Because if you just rise ace, you have a club loser, and you can't pitch it on a diamond without East roughing it. So, turns out I would have been fine. Huh. Easy opening in any hand but fourth. Fourth seat with only 2 spades? I think you could justify passing this. What about opening 2 hearts? In fourth seat, that's not weak, because obviously with a weak hand, you would just pass. It's like, you know, intermediate heart-focused hand. I have 2 diamond losers, 2 club losers is 4. Call it 1 heart loser, but probably it's more like 2. So 5.5, 6 losers, and a half. Well, I had 5.5 plus 1.5, so this is like 7 losers. So two hearts is a slight overbid. You should really have more like 6 losers for that. But it's, you know, it's a pretty hard-focused hand. I think it's worth a try. Gib thinks it's 9 to 12, which you should have more than that. But okay, we got them to commit to 8 tricks, despite neither of them having an opening hand. That's plus partner should find the right lead. Oh, the jack is such a nice card. Do me a favor and have the 9 as well, please, partner. It's my first time defending today, isn't it? Yes. No. 3 hearts east. Well, I'm not very excited to see the queen winning here. Claire has... Okay, let's think about points for a sec. Dummy had 10. I have 13 is 23. So there's 17 between the opponents. West apparently has... I mean... Who knows what this means? When would you ever bid 2 no natural here? It's just unbelievable. I would rather just pass and hope to get enough tricks and 2 hearts doubled. But let's assume it shows most of the outstanding 13 points. Obviously it can't be all, because partner, that would be an opening hand. So partner has to have something, but... I don't know what I'm hoping for here. That's good news. At least I have two club tricks. Oh, we're looking great now. It's the 9! Oh my god, I love you some days, partner. Alright, so this is getting absolutely demolished. What's the right defense, though? I'm pretty sure we play low and make partner switch to a black suit. Which black suit do I want? Clubs, I think. Because then I just lose 2 tricks at the end. Whereas if he switches to spade, declare can certainly take at least 2 tricks and probably more. So I know partner isn't going to understand this, but with a sensible human partner, you should be able to order partner to switch to the right suit in this situation, right? We have 3 cards to play that are all equally useless at winning the trick. And so you should play a low one if you want partner to switch to the lower of the plausible suits, and a high one if you want partner to switch to a higher of the plausible suits. That's really the only use for this signal here. And I'm 100% confident that my real, ordinary human bridge partner would understand me correctly if I played the 3 of hearts here. I'm sure Gib does not understand this, but I'm just saying, like, you know, if you're out there, you play bridge, and this isn't something you know, that's something to think about. The 3 of hearts here should be asking for a club. Now, in fairness, like, I don't know, Gib found it, good work. In this situation, maybe, you know, a club is sort of called for anyway, but I don't think so. Like, partner doesn't know what's going on in the club suit, right? So... Anyway, it's pretty much impossible for East to discard wrong, but just in case he does, let's run these. Or West to discard wrong for East, I guess I should say. Alright, and so opening 2 hearts got us plus 150. Pretty nice, right? Tough to imagine we were doing better after opening 1 heart. Like, what the hell? I don't ever want to see this screen. I miss the non-split screen. I guess I'm used to getting less information about all these events. Alright, win 0.7. Incredible work. So what would have happened if I'd opened 1 heart? Probably West passes, partner bids a spade. East really ought to double that. I'll bid 2 hearts. West probably passes. Partner passes. We play 2 hearts, making 3 or something. 5 hearts. A diamond is 6. Spade is 7. Club is 8. Looks like making only 2. But maybe you can arrange a club ruff if they're not careful. Alright, well, pretty solid event for me. No big mistakes. I still say board... Well, I guess I'll check, but at the time I believed, and I assume I still believe, that 3 hearts making was the normal thing to happen, and it just scored badly for no clear reason. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.